So I was the kind of guy that thought that if you wanted to use your Amex points, you had to go lay flat business class all the way across the pond. Well, that's not the case, okay? Because I've come up with this new way to use your Amex points that works for the United States. If you want to fly around on Delta, you can go ahead and do that for a pretty good cents per point value. And while this isn't necessarily a new way to redeem your Amex points, it is new to me, and it's so exciting that I have to make a video. Let's talk about it. So Amex points are the best points out there, I guess. That's what a lot of people say. I'm not the kind of guy that wants to go business class all the time, and it's nice. I mean, it's cool to lay down and chill and get some freaking, I don't know, some kind of nice crab omelet or something like that. But I'm not the kind of guy that's doing that all the time, right? I need to get from A to B, right? This is an A to B kind of situation. So I know, Delta. A lot of people say that if you want good cents per point with Delta, you got to redeem outside of the United States, right? You got to have like one destination that's outside the US or something like that, and then the cents per point value increases a ton. That is true. But if you're okay with 1.3 cents per point, the flexibility to book everything inside of Delta's ecosystem, and the good customer service that you get with Delta, then honestly, I wouldn't look no further than what I'm about to show you. I have an Amex Gold and I have an Amex Platinum. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of words, it's a lot of coupons, I get it. I also have one other card that's very special. It's a very special part of this equation, yes, and it's a Delta Gold business card. I know, a lot of people are like, I'm not getting the Delta Gold. I'm not paying all that annual fee. I don't want to mess around. And I get that, right? There's a lot to do with these cards. But I want to tell you one thing. If you're going to go ahead and get a Delta card, you're going to want to get the Delta Business Gold card, especially because of that offer. I know at the time when I got it, there was a 95,000 point sign-up bonus with Delta, and honestly, that's pretty solid. Now, just without that, you're still going to be getting value because of this special thing called the Take 15% Off. That's right, you get a 15% boost, and this is very helpful when it comes to boosting up your cents per point. Let me talk about it. So a lot of the times when I'm in the Delta portal, I'll see some good flights, something around, 10,000, maybe 13, 14, 15,000 Delta points for a one-way. This is pretty solid. Compare it against Google. Google's like showing you $180, $200. The whole point of this is that if you run the math on it, you're going to get around 1.3 cents per point. And if you factor in bringing that extra free bag that you'll have when you take Delta, since you have the Delta Business Gold card, you're going to be getting, if you want to factor that into the cents per point, a pretty good cents per point value, right? If this is something that you would have had to pay anyway, $35 to check your skis, that's kind of what I'm doing, then it makes a lot of sense. And honestly, the best part of this entire strategy is that you can use it with Amex, and Amex is so easy to generate points. You can get that huge 150, 175K offer on the Platinum, get the 90K on the Gold. Those are the two solid cards you can get sign-up bonuses on. Plus, you can just use the card for what they are. I mean, some of the credits are a little frustrating, but I got to tell you, I'm able to use it and make my way of it, and I think you could too. The best part of this entire deal is that you're hooked up to Amex. Yes, Amex is best friends with Delta. They love each other, okay? They're very, very good friends. They're business partners. They make everything happen, yes. There's a little one thing that's frustrating that I'll get into in a sec called excise tax. And you're essentially paying a little bit extra to transfer your points over. It's a tax, but it's still okay. I still get around 1.3 cents per point. Now, somebody that values simplicity in the game, I get it. Amex, pain in the ass, okay? I understand you don't want to deal with their credits. You don't want to deal with spending all that money to get their big sign-up bonuses because it's so much money you got to spend. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to deal with anything, right? You want to have some sort of simple setup. You don't want to memorize credits. You don't want to go to Dunkin' Donuts because you're a Starbucks person, or maybe you live in the Pacific Northwest. I don't care. I don't know. Here's the deal, though. When you have a card like this and you're able to transfer to Delta, it is easier. It is easier being a loyalist to one airline, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to, go out there and commit to one airline because honestly, you're not really getting much benefits, right? Maybe you can board in Class C instead of Class F or whatever. I mean, whoop-de-doo, you're sitting down for 15 extra minutes when I'm standing up, burning more calories and enjoying my legs. I don't know. But that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to tell you is booking through the portal can be a pain, and you're not going to be doing that with this card, right? This card is directly in Delta. It's all Delta. It's Delta, Delta, Delta. There's no Chase. There's no Capital One portal. There's none of that in the way, right? And here's the deal. I've made lots of mistakes in the portal. that unfortunately I've been unable to change. And this is just me, right? I could go out there and book a main flight like that instead of a basic economy. But for some reason, I just see that delicious cent per point and super low points I got to spend in the Chase portal, and I go out there and buy it and then end up needing to change the flight anyway. And honestly, plus, linking together multiple airlines can be kind of a pain, right? If you're flying JetBlue there and Alaska back, I mean, it just makes a little bit extra headache. If you want to go ahead and try to find the best price and flight for wherever you're going, right? You got to go out and search through multiple different portals, search through multiple different search engines. You're on Google, then you're on Alaska, then you're on JetBlue. You know what I'm saying? Then you're on all these different websites trying to figure it out. You're running out of Chase points because Chase points are hard to come by. And that's where I think, honestly, Delta just makes it so much easier. This might be a joke, but it's not. I actually really like Delta. It's hard, right? It's hard to figure this all out. And I think, if you want to make it easier to sacrifice a little bit of cents per point, I think that's fine. If you could get 1.5 cents per point in the Chase portal, but when you're booking through a third party, you can't change it. You got to deal with one guy, and then you got to deal with another. And it really can be a pain. I've had multiple times where, you got to go through Chase's customer service instead of directly with the airline. And I got to say, when it's times of travel and you're going out there, going far away from your home, doing some traveling for real, it's a pain, right? You don't want to have to deal with that. And, I'm fine with 1.3 cents per point. I've kind of realized that you're not going to be getting the best out there, but having that customer service, having all the things that you need right there in front of you and not have to go through somebody else to get them is so freaking nice. I mean, I feel safe. I feel calm. You know what I'm saying? I feel really good in Delta's hands. And this is not sponsored by Delta, but boy, would that be cool. So I'm kind of a fanboy. I just discovered that. I don't think I have been my whole life. Listen, I used to be the guy that was going through the portal. I was going through all these different portals trying to find the best, lowest, cheapest, fastest flight, okay? I didn't want to have to spend a lot of money. I didn't want to have to spend a lot of points. I was going for the 1.5 Chase points in the portal, and I just don't like having to fly all these different airlines where you don't know what to expect, and it's just a huge pain. The funny part is that if you travel enough, you don't even have to worry about the annual fee. If you're making, more than $150 in value, which is the annual fee, through your take 15 off, or maybe that free check bag, then you don't even have to worry about whatever freaking annoying credits Delta has to offer, right? That's the good part is, how many times does it take to fly and get your $35 bag cost covered, right? Maybe like less than 5. You got to fly 5 times to cover that. And I guess it sounds like a lot, but if you're flying around the United States and you bring bags, maybe you bring skis, the Delta card's totally cool. And for me, I fly between 2 Delta hubs. I forgot to mention that. That's why it's pretty important for me to do this. But yeah, I'm just going to leave you with that. I think if you have any questions, you can hit my line in the comment section below. I like to read them all. I like to see what you guys have to say. More interesting videos coming later on some real estate topics. I'm very interested in buying something, but we're going to leave that for another video. I'm going to have a good day. I hope you do too. See ya.